brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
All right, cut and print. Beautiful, guys. Dynamite.
There's a special place in hell for you. Eric, we can't even hear you, man. Your mic be...
Nah, I like that move. I like that move, Randy.
I don't.
That was a nice move.
Yeah,
I like
nope.
that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Nope.
Oh, that was great. I love that.
Nope. 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 Nope.
I love that move, Randy. That was a nice move. I
Oh,
like that.
man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the BrawlCast here on the Sports Hit List, as well as we're live on YouTube. I'm currently working to get back on Instagram as well. I got to put the stream key on, but I am your host and your moderator, the People's Champion, and I am joined by my tag team partner in all the IWC, the Diamond Cutter Big E, and of course joining us as well as our fantasy booker extraordinaire Kid Dynamite.
Yep.
Fellas, as usual, vibe check of the room. It's been a nice little week in the city of New York, amongst other things, and of course, all things wrestling and or life in general. How are we feeling, guys?
Listen, where do you want me to start? Where do you want me to start? Y'all see the name?
I like that.
Y'all see the name that we got up there? Praise be Jalen Brunson. All praise, glory to the man, Jalen Brunson. Praise be to Juan Soto. Hit a big home run last night. They're playing right now. At sports. Personally wise, man, I'm feeling amazing, man. I'm feeling great. Orange and blue skies over here, baby. I ain't got no problems. I ain't got no issues.
Well, what about you, Kid Ty? What about you, man? What's going on?
You know, I've been doing a lot better up until I read this quote that I thought was not appropriate, but it stuck in my mind, so I'll say it. This quote, and I quote, "You smell like you've been swimming in ass." And I haven't been the same since I've read that quote. It's been 12 seconds, and I don't think I can go on no more.
I'm childish.
I'm doing okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna stay like that. I'll tell you after game 1 tonight. Me nervous because
a little nervous.
Because we had a 7-10 split from hell. It was either Philly or Miami, and either way, we coming out with at least yellow damage going into round 2 if we make it to round 2. So I'm hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
We could talk about that off camera because I got counter punches for that, but you know we gonna leave that alone. We gonna leave that alone.
Man.
Well, I'm not trying to box. I'm just hoping for the best. You know, this lineup at the Knicks, it'll be very impressive if they go very far in this playoffs, and that's without Julius Randle. That's going to be a very telling sign of New York's future, as long as things go decent.
Praise be Jalen Brunson.
Praise be.
I'm also doing a little bit better because Eric's wearing my favorite colors right now.
My mama watches this show, Tyler. My mama. Your mama.
Does your mama like the Yankees?
My mama actually is a big Yankees fan.
All right, then she gonna be fine. Listen, midnight blue, navy blue. That's my colors, man. I love it, bro. I like Elmo, except on Twitter. I be telling Elmo to die because I'm gonna just be asking random questions when I'm sad, talking about how your day is. I don't like what? How dare you?
That's crazy.
Ask me how your day. Oh no! Don't put no little glimmers of Clifford on your neck because you got called out. Hey man. Hey man.
That's crazy.
That's wild. That's wild. Reddy, how you feeling, bro? We didn't even get to you, man. How you?
Listen, had an interview yesterday. It went well.
I love that for you, bro.
Yeah,
really
man.
Good.
I mean, some things are coming through. So I'm going to Puerto Rico next week. So that's another thing. So got me a little bit of fun. And of course, you already know what today is. So
praise be.
Praise be. But let's hit our first icebreaker of the show here. Let's talk some news we heard this past week. Big E. First and foremost, two things. Congratulations to Big E.
Look at this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Congratulations to Big E.
I love it.
You know, dating Mia Yim's sister.
I love it.
Shout out to that family. They chose well.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the news was, Big E said he does feel a hell of a lot better since the surgery to his neck, but the bone hasn't really fully grown back, which would mean the fact that he's not cleared to wrestle, and it may never heal. So basically meaning the fact that this might be it for Big E as it pertains to his in-ring career. So what are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so first off, again, congratulations, because I do love that. I love that for him, for my boy Big E. If y'all watched the whole New Day pod, he spoke a lot about relationships and everything and what it would take for him. Like, he's one of those type of guys that's okay with being alone. So for him to be in a relationship and see him happy, listen, from one Big E to another, I'm happy. I'm happy for that man. As far as his in-ring career goes, it sucks because I felt like at the time he was putting it all together. This man was WWE champion. He broke out into a star that we know he could be. And I feel like we got robbed. There was more of Big E's potential that we haven't seen, even within the New Day. So for him not to be medically cleared, it sucks. Nobody wants to see, somebody go down with a neck injury. We've seen it plenty of times. Daniel Bryan, Edge, all out of these guys. But, modern medicine has now shown us that, yeah, maybe it's not in the future right now, but it can be down the line if he's available and if, modern medicine does advance as far as it does. So I'm glad he's at peace. I'm glad we got the run that we got with him. And hopefully maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, maybe that might be a different story. We might be sitting here saying something different. So kudos to him. Tyler, since I got to take over since Randy's kind of off camera.
Yeah. I mean, my sentiments are pretty much exactly the same. I love Big E. I feel like Vince did him dirty when it came to the singles run post New Day, and after the Intercontinental title stuff, because the Intercontinental title stuff should be remembered. The World Championship, he got robbed, and I love that man to death. I'm also jealous because I've known Mia Yim's sister on Twitter for a minute. Well, I don't know her, but I've been aware of her for a long time. That family is gorgeous. That family has chose well. I'm very happy for him, but there's a small part of me that's like,
I prayed for. I didn't pray for this.
I didn't pray for this.
You're Drew McIntyre. You're Drew McIntyre hating on CM Punk.
I'm like Will Smith's dad right now in the show. It just happened. I'm happy for him though. I'm very happy for him. But yeah, for me, it sucks, obviously, from a selfish standpoint. You want to see him do more. And like you said, you never know, down the road it's possible. But for now, and for the foreseeable future, I just want the guy to be happy and safe, as I imagine everybody else does. So I think I could speak for the floor and say we're just happy that he is able to be pain-free, do his thing. He's going to be doing some great analyst work soon. Apparently, he said there's some stuff that's coming up for him soon, which is great. So all love for Big E. We will never forget what he was able to accomplish so far in pro wrestling. And for a 2-time Intercontinental champion, Triple Crown champion, and a man who most likely would have been one of the standard bearers of the current generation, there's no reason to hang your head low. Man already has a Hall of Fame career, and he gets to do it in his youth. still in the prime of his life. So I think that's something to be celebrated.
I echo the sentiments of the floor. Sorry, I had to fix some stuff off screen now that we're officially live on Instagram. So outside of that, I agree with everybody. Both of you guys in terms of what you guys said. So in terms of Big E, he's had an incredible career. His impact in terms of what he did with the New Day will never ever be forgotten. His run to become champion, everything from NXT, his development, and the kind of genuine person that he is. In and out of the ring, he'll definitely be missed in terms of his presence on live TV. Whatever he does, if he becomes a backstage producer or just does a lot of creative stuff backstage, we just hope that he's happy in terms of what he's doing in his next chapter. With that said, speaking of one tag team legend, speaking of the tag teams in that kind of theme, we have some new tag team championship titles, beginning with these bad boys. The new World Tag Team titles that debuted this past Monday on Raw, that was awarded to the Awesome Truth by Triple H and Raw GM Adam Pearce. What's your thoughts about the titles?
All right, it's my time. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it. I hate everybody. All right, the end. Moving. But for real. You've heard me so many times talk about how I hate the way those old tag team championships looked. And for 14 goddamn years, I've had to look at this pocket change collection of championships. So the minute I saw that there was a podium with some James Brown level blankets covering what was on that podium, I was excited. And then they took the blanket off, and I saw the Raw's version of the World Tag Team Championships, the World Tag Team Championships. And I said, we really are back in 2002, 2003 with this again, aren't we? These belts are not bad. These belts are not bad at all. The ones that were displayed on Raw. However, my God, can we get away from circles? Jesus. Oh my goodness. Look, I made the joke in the group chat. We went from pennies to nickels to a dollar coin. And that is what this looks like to me. But then somebody said it looked like pizza. And I've been upset ever since because I can't unsee it, man. Because look, show the photo again. Show these people what this looked like if they haven't seen it already. This photo. See, this right here is actually not bad. It's really not bad. It looks like the current Schmedium Gold Championship we have on Raw that Damian Priest is holding. However, if you look at the graphic of like Miz and R-Truth holding it from Raw, it just looks like a yellow circle. So it's one of those things where it's like the lighting is really messing it up. It's suffering from the same thing the World Championship suffered from. Which is why we were convinced that when SmackDown pulled up, those tag team titles were going to look like the current World Championship on SmackDown. Right? That's what we thought, right?
That's what I thought.
And boy, were we wrong. We were so wrong. Not only were we wrong, we were so defiantly wrong that our IQ exams got retested. and we have not even made the baseline. We were beyond wrong. Not only did they do what we wanted them to do, they did it better.
Yeah.
Because the tag titles on SmackDown. Here, let me tell you something about them tag titles on SmackDown right there. Let me tell you about them. Oh boy, let me tell you about that. Man, them, yeah. Yeah, man.
Tyler.
Yeah, man.
Just
I can't. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. That's a good looking championship.
Let me, boy. Let me Skill.
Skill. Look at that skill. Look at it.
Oh my God. Good. Oh,
29.
Ducky. Quack. Let me tell you something. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at it.
Look at it, man. That belt is tattooed with the pen of an angel. Good God Almighty! Look at, and it got the side plates.
Yeah, the side plates is sexy.
With the custom side plates. This is man. Let me tell you something, man.
Let me tell you something.
This title makes me happy and mad at the same time. You want to know why? Put the screen back on the floor for a second. Oh, put it back on the floor so you can see their face. Okay, put it back on the titles. We don't need that. Put it back on the titles. Let me tell you something. These titles make me happy and mad because what we've been asking for a good long time in this era of championships in general is more attention to detail, more relief, more of that classic craftsmanship that these championships used to have that we grew up on. And WWE has always had the funds and always had the ability to do it, but branding, in this branding era, every title has logos way too big, with the exceptions of the IC and the US for the most part, right? So when you look at this championship, which looks like the grandchild of the original WWF Tag Team Championships from the 80s, child of the WWF Tag Team Championships in the 90s, the WWE Tag Team Championships from the 2000s. This belt looks like a proper continuation, and this is what evolution really looks like. When people tell me evolution is how things change over time, I would hope they change over time to get better. And this is what this is, man. That looks beautiful. Now, granted, we are sticklers. We have our complaints in the sense that we wish there was some more color on that belt, especially considering the Raw versions had all that red, looking like marinara sauce. But here, these belts from a distance look good. Up close, they look good. They look familiar. They make you feel at home, which I think a lot of fans who are coming back to the promotion are going to look at these belts and go, this reminds me of what I used to see, which I hope we see more of with championships. And it also makes me upset because you guys have had the potential to do this. Put it back on the screen. Put it back on the screen. Put it back on the screen. You had the potential to do this for 15 years. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God, on the red. This is the red carpet of titles. What is that? You've had the ability to make something this gorgeous for 15 years. You've been producing trash. What is this? I've sat through the Butterfly Divas Championship. I've sat through every incarnation of the big logo since 2013. The tag titles have been straight doo-doo for 14 years. And I've had to watch the U.S. Championship die and be resurrected into an eagle for real. And the Intercontinental Championship shrunk and was saved by Gunther. That is the only reason we will remember that design.
Yeah,
look at this.
That's it's a pretty good looking title. I can't even lie.
And you know what? This is the second best tag team championship design they've. No, it's the first. But the second one before this was the NXT UK tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, all of NXT UK's belts had great craftsmanship put into them because they actually went into the detail work. But this is what we've been talking about. Between this, the UK championships, I'm upset that this company was so scared to go back to a belt that looked like this.
This is time. I don't even have nothing to say.
Oh my God! Just actually get that out of there. I don't want to see Triple H's hand no more. But the point is like this belt. Look at my God! Look, we have two good sets of tag team championships. We got that, and we got the ones on Raw, which are also fairly detailed and look nice. I just don't like the shape of the center plate. That's all. But the company has made you care about tag team wrestling off the aesthetic and presentation and the matches that followed it. That's really good. But if you put that back on the screen, just so y'all don't forget what these people are capable, look! Oh my God! When I tell you I was wrong and right, Jesus, man, you know, if you put some blue on that, I really wish the blue.
All right, okay. Now we're going too far. Okay,
but I'm just saying. Look, this. I'm here for the 9. I'm here for the 9. That's a 9. That's a championship 9. I'll take 9. 9 look great. All right.
So far, Kid Ty likes the fact that hey, so far as Kid Ty likes SmackDown one far better than the one on Raw.
Yeah, far better.
But the Raw one is fine.
It's not
it's
bad.
Definitely
it's not a bad championship.
No, it's not. The Raw one honestly looks like if the SmackDown one is a tribute to the belts of old, then the Raw one feels more like a love letter to what we've had for the past decade with the circular belts. Yeah. Like this is the best form of the circular belt they can make. And that's fine. But if you go back to the original picture, this Christ. It was a good Friday, I'll tell you that right there.
Oh,
that's how you change it. Yeah, I can't disagree. It's a pretty good looking belt. They already went up on WWE Shop too, and I'm just like, okay, how do I get my hands on these titles? Because I need one. I need one to add to my collection.
And that's it without the custom side plates.
That's without the custom side plates. Just imagine somebody getting custom side plates. Like, I don't like the way Cody's looks on that WWE Undisputed Championship.
Yeah.
But imagine how it would look on the world title. That would be fire on the world title.
I hope that means they'll start, upping their game on the side plate logos, because some of these have been straight garbage.
Oh, and since I wasn't here last week, I know this is kind of like not on par with what we're talking about. Can we just talk about Damian Priest being what I thought he was going to be? Come on now. I've been telling y'all for years. I've been telling y'all.
You wait till Jay's on the show.
I wasn't here last week, but I'm going to say it real quick. Damian Priest is your world champion.
It would be the week between when you and Jay miss each other.
Yeah,
it's some crazy. It's some shit. Let's shift gears to AEW real quick, and one match particular that many fans want to have been speculating can it happen at Dynasty is this match right here. Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship, which I would hope would be the main event of this pay-per-view.
12-hour pay-per-view.
Oh boy, it'll be like, listen, for those who got a 9 to 5 Monday morning, I'm sorry for y'all, but outside of that, can Strickland do the unexpected?
You want to take this one first, Tyler?
I think it's going to happen. I think it is going to happen. It's just bittersweet for me because I prefer Joe. I'm fine with it happening because it is Strickland's time. I just feel bad because it's bittersweet to see Samoa Joe hitting his stride as a world champion after everything that he's been through career-wise. And it's one of those things where it's like every time that man touches a world championship, he's cursed if it's not Ring of Honors.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like with Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe had a world title reign that could last a lifetime. And to be honest, it's compensating for a lifetime of other crappy title reigns that weren't his fault. Never really his fault. Usually the trajectory of the company at that time. So for me to see him as AEW World Champion and doing such nice things, especially in the wake of people not liking MJF's reign and Joe being an immediate breath of fresh air, it kind of sucks. But in the same token, Joe has been one of their top guys for a good while since the television title reign, King of TV deal. They parlayed it into him being champion, and he's made the most of every bit of screen time he's had. I just don't know what he will do after this, and I feel bad because part of me doesn't want to see him regress momentum-wise. But Strickland is the champion of he earned his opportunity. He earned his momentum. If they don't pull it on him soon, it's going to be for naught because those fans move on pretty quickly, depending on what you give them. So for me, I guess giving it a Swerve is cool, and it probably will be him and Ospreay and at what's it, All In?
All In or Forbidden Door?
Yeah, so I kind of expect that down the road.
Or All Out? Is it All Out? Might be All Out.
No, All In is the one in England, I believe.
Oh, but
So,
they got Double or Nothing coming up, right? They got so many damn pay-per-views, I can't keep up.
you know, Forbidden Door is in New York this year.
It is. It's in Queens.
Yeah, so
You're just putting that out there.
no, not even really that. It's just more so I was shocked. I was like, oh wow, we got something this year. All right, cool.
Yeah, we actually. But you know, AEW's always had a big market in New York. Their markets are New York and California.
True, but in the
Carolinas too. They're pretty big in Carolina.
They don't even come here.
North Carolina, not South.
North Carolina, not South. They don't come here. They go to Charlotte mostly.
Yeah.
So you know, but I say Swerve will win it. Yeah.
Okay, so this is how I feel about it, right? I think I guess I'm going to agree with Tyler as well. I feel like this: you have to strike while the iron is hot with Swerve, and you've already had what 3-4 matches with him and Hangman Page, and he's beaten what I think they're 2-2 basically. I think it's split, but you've had that. You've had him beat Hangman in 2 pivotal matches. You're giving him more TV time. You're giving him promo time. You're building him up to be a serious threat to Samoa Joe, which I don't like the build that much because it's Samoa Joe. You're still making Samoa Joe look strong, but Samoa Joe is supposed to be an absolute beast. We know this. They're supposed to be like, listen, yeah, I get Swerve is out here doing his thing. Everybody like to come out and do the little dance and everything, but it's Samoa Joe. Like, this is Ring of Honor Samoa Joe. This is, I choke people out, pause, no Diddy, Samoa Joe.
What?
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know that was crazy. But
that was crazy.
That was crazy. We gotta get a video when somebody says something crazy. But
that was
crazy.
That was wild. I know Matt will be in the comments talking about that. Look, my mama watches this show. So look, y'all done threw me off now. So
you did that by yourself.
I did that by myself. But now Samoa Joe, to me, I hate that. He has to be a martyr because
that's crazy.
That was wild, Matt. My fault. I apologize. Like, Samoa Joe has to be a martyr in order to build up the next star, because I agree with you, Tyler. Where does Samoa Joe go after this? Does he go Ring of Honor and go with go down there and try to fight for the championship down there? Where's his next story?
He doesn't need, at his stage of his career, he could do a lot of different things. It's just
right.
It's a shame that it's not so much that he doesn't have options, and it's not so much that he shouldn't be doing this at this point in his career. It's just more so like, you had a good thing going here, and it kind of, I guess it's better to cut it from his legs while it's hot than to let it drag, but still.
I guess they look at it like this. Because Samoa Joe, to me, I feel like he's one of those vets that does business. You know what I mean? Of
course. I mean, that's not what's in question. It's just more
right.
It's like, it's not that it's happening that's the problem. Mm-hmm. It's what happened before that sucks, because you don't want it to happen now based on what you've experienced before. So that's all it is, man.
I think the real question here is, where does Swerve go after this, after winning the title? Because we've been building up this anticipation up until he gets crowned as the first AEW Black Champion. Now we're going to get it. What happens from here?
I mean, there is a very talented roster there. It's up to the big man to make it make sense.
It's up to the Coke man. But I mean,
oh, come on now. We can no.
I'm sorry. No, I'm good.
I just had to put that joke.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You didn't have to say that. But I mean,
Matt said the only way to go is Hangman.
I mean, Hangman is cool. Don't get me wrong, but we've seen that already.
I don't want that to be AEW's version of Seth and Cody.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see that. But see, the difference with that, WWE can they sit there and they spread it out. Because I told Randy this too. Randy wanted Cody and Seth again for Mania that just passed. But I'm like, yo, I know it's been time, but he had to finish the story with Roman. And then not only that, let Cody build up to Seth Rollins. I mean, well, now we know Seth legitimately got hurt. He shouts out to him. He just repaired his meniscus over this past week. So he'll be out for a little while. But that's perfect for him to come right back into that story and insert himself as a contender. So, and it's like, yo, Cody, you owe me a favor. Remember what I said to you when you won the title? I want a shot next. There it is. Boom. So you could build off of that. You do Hangman and Swerve every other week almost. At least in my opinion, I feel like you do it every other week.
I don't know.
Every time it's a marquee show, it's there.
They've been away from each other for a little bit. Though.
Yeah, they've separated recently. They've recently separated and gone back into neutral corners. But when they did have a big show, it's either they're in a tag match together or they're in a one-on-one or a segment. It's somewhere along the lines where those guys are always attached at the hip at each other.
Oh, look, we got people. It breathe. Yeah, we got other people. Like, don't worry, that probably will happen. We'll come back to those two eventually, but I just don't want them to hammer it away. Because moving on, Randall.
Next topic.
Next topic. I guess we have one more topic before we get into the main event. Tribal Air Solo. And the best way to describe this is this picture right here.
Oh boy, out here, boy.
Solo Sikoa taking over the Bloodline. Shout out to the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast on Twitter for the picture. And
I gotta take the lead on this one. Go ahead.
As we know, Roman Reigns lost the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and the Bloodline haven't been getting that respect since Roman has fallen. And the locker room, Cody has his own locker room now, took over that distinction. And Kevin Owens was like, poking the bear a little bit. And this week got some serendipity by the way of Tama Tonga. So, how have you been loving this reiteration of what Bloodline 4.0? Is it now? This is 4.0.
This is like right? 4.0, 4.5. I don't know. Look, man. Look. Solo Sikoa. I love everything that you're doing right now. First off, it's not even Solo Sikoa. Let's talk about creative real quick. This is how you build a star. This is how you build somebody who I know a lot of people I've seen the comments. He hasn't been winning. He hasn't had a legitimate match since October of last year, whenever they did that Saudi show. I get it. I see the complaints. I understand. This is how you build a new star without Roman being there. Roman's presence is still felt even though he's not there. That's how, first off, let's give Roman his flowers, please. Let's give Roman his flowers. Because look how many people he put on, and all the people he put on are striving now.
We're going to be here for 3 hours.
No. I'm just saying. I'm not going to name off the people because you're right. We will be here for 3 hours. But every last one of those people that he put on are striving. Every last one of them.
Solo Sikoa is in a unique position, as Eric's saying, that he is just taking the leadership role in Roman's absence and reminding you how dangerous the Bloodline can be again, off of his energy, mainly. Tama Tonga fits that energy. You got Solo making executive decisions that are shocking because you're not used to anyone calling the shots but Roman, but that's the point. Conflicting because Paul Heyman don't know how to feel about any of this.
Paul Heyman's gonna have his eyes bloodshot red like he did when was that? When Ryback and CM Punk were feuding?
Yes. And also heartbreaking because similar to when Roman was excommunicating family, Solo's taking names regardless of how close they are to him.
Solo's more ruthless, in my opinion.
I think he's just quicker about it. Roman is more dramatic about it. Solo is a lot more cutthroat, where it's just like, well, Somebody's got to go.
He's his own hitman.
Well, it's also interesting because, like, I guess the best way to put it is, like, Roman plays with his food.
Okay.
To a degree, until he gets pissed.
It's more psychological.
Solo has the crossbow with a scope.
Okay.
And just goes for it. And I think that shift in mentality and that shift in dynamic is what people are feeling the most right now. And Tama Tonga, the fact that he is so up in the air because, again, he's there, he's doing the stuff with his family, and then on top of that, you have the OC around. So eventually that will pop up as a thing. The fact that this man can be eating everybody alive, the fact that we are seeing Kevin Owens busted open, getting beat down, I like the fact that they're using a lot of elements. We're so used to the dysfunction and so many things being out of the picture that once they're coming back in, it's like you're hypersensitive to it again. It's like you're re-experiencing it again. So, it's interesting to see that. And to see Solo wearing clothes is also interesting because I'm not going to lie to you. It's been black hoodies, giant foot boots, foot tape. So the fact that Solo has a wardrobe is nice to know. Because outside of the jumpsuit and the hoodies, I didn't know he had other clothes.
My boy came in there looking like Suge Knight. He came in there real clean. He came in there real clean with that suit. And they're letting him speak a little more. But also, that's a nugget they threw in there.
Well, like I said,
when
things
Roman
you're not used to.
Right. When Roman was was there full time, Solo was just the hitman. Solo was just, all right. Whatever you need, I'm here. But they threw in little nuggets. I forgot what segment it was, but there was a backstage segment, and Roman is sitting there, holding the title. And then he sees Solo just looking at the title and looking at him. And then he finally realizes, oh, Solo's looking at me. And Solo just shakes his head. Doesn't say anything, just shakes his head. So he's always had his eye on that tribal chief title. Always had it.
And of course, with the current stuff that's happening, people are already predicting the civil war that's supposed to be happening with these two, or supposedly happening.
So, and shouts out. I gotta bring this to the table since we're talking about this real quick. Shouts out to my old boss. Shouts out to you, Johnny, my guy Gio. So my old boss said this, right? I proposed to him, if they spread this out, depending on where all of this comes to a head, war games. You got Roman, the Usos. We're supposed to be 4-on-4, 5-on-5.
It could be 4-on-4 or 5-on-5.
Okay, so let's do 4. Roman, the Usos, and maybe you might throw Sammy in there. Maybe Sammy reconciles with Roman. How we get that story. And then you got Solo, Tama, Jacob Fatu. You might throw in a wild card in there.
Well, if depending on how this goes, because War Game's supposed to happen in the fall, as Circle of Debate said, it could happen with the war where, yes, you could have on one side Jacob Fatu, Solo, Tama Tonga, possibly The Rock, if he's available, versus Roman, the Usos, and pick your fourth person. It could be Cody. That would be a hell of a swerve.
That would be the most. That would be full circle. That would be full circle.
Or depending on the draft, it could be Sammy. I mean, you never know. Look, it looks like the tag team championships are the only champions that aren't going to get switched. Because I don't see why SmackDown would get a belt with Raw Inc. on it. Same thing with the. Although the tag titles on SmackDown could look perfectly fine on Raw since they're colorless. But you get the idea. Like, it looks like those are the only champions that are exclusively going to stay on their shows. Every other belt looks like it's up for debate at this point. So you never know. Sammy could jump ship with the IC title.
Yeah. And
Chad Gable on his back. So you never know. You could always see Sammy rejoin the Bloodline. Team Usi. Team Usi. You know,
he got to do the handshake with Roman.
He got to do the hand. He don't have enough hands. He's going to do it with the Usos. and then he's gonna have Roman in there. They're gonna have their own little handshake or something in between. But
something.
yeah,
But that reconciled that's gonna be something if that happens.
what do you say, Nick's hat?
What do I say? Listen, I love what's going on right now, man. Every time you think you got the story figured out, something else just comes up and just here we are, and I honestly can't wait to see what else happens from here on out, man. Because all I know is going to be the power struggle between Roman and whomever, or The Rock, or when Jacob comes through.
But I think that's how you build it up, though. Sorry to cut you off. I think that's how you build it up. Like you build up Rock and Roman for next WrestleMania. You started with this War Games, and then you end it right there at that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's laid out perfectly.
No, it is laid out perfectly. For sure.
For sure. All right. So where we moving on to the main topic?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are moving on to the main topic. A little bit of Brand Vision 2.0 here. Got some Brand Vision going on here. Kid Ty, we did Brand Vision 1. We did Brand Vision last year in terms of what's the identity of each brand. So Ty, I asked you this time around, what should be the vision for Raw and SmackDown this time around at following this WWE draft?
Oh man, I'm not prepared for this one. I'll tell you what. Last time I was fired up. This one I really don't know because
I threw you a curveball.
Well, man, it hit me in the face. I ain't even had my hands up yet. Honestly, it's tough because I've had a very concrete idea of what Raw and SmackDown should be since I was a kid, because they kind of established it with how they went about their stuff. Raw was more of the pomp and circumstance, more of the drama, and SmackDown was more of the wrestling show with drama sprinkled in, unless you're watching Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson. And whatever happened to Kurt Angle when he got chokeslammed off that cliff. My photo is my actual response to that. That being said, this time around, I really don't know, because SmackDown has been the more prioritized show. I don't know if I should say the A show, because they still hold a heavy hand with Raw. But it has definitely been the more prioritized show the past 5 years or so in the Fox deal, because they've had to make the most out of that deal. This time around, they're building to Raw going to Netflix from this point on, right? They're building the Raw going to Netflix. They're building to SmackDown holding it down on USA, which is its own prestigious spot in its own, because basically SmackDown is taking over for the entire WWE on the network they've been attached to for the longest time. So in that regard, the way that I see it, SmackDown and Raw should not be looked at as, they can have like slight deviations in their identity. Of course, they're different shows, but it's no longer A and B to me in terms of how the company sees it. It feels more like 1A and 1B as opposed to a solid 1 and 2. You get what I'm saying? Because they're both taking on very important roles going for, and it's been built up to the past couple of years, but it's no longer, this is the show we care about, and then here's the show where y'all could do whatever you want. Now it's like both of these shows have an important role, because one is carrying streaming, one is carrying national TV, and then NXT is going to be carrying, I believe, cable, because I think it's going to CW. So those are the identities, I'd say. 1A, 1B, and then NXT is the solid 2. So I guess that's the best way I could put it right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. So here's my thing with this, right? Everything that you said, it's what we're going to see moving forward. We're going to see SmackDown take over where Raw has been for how long? Now, over 20 years, give or take. Because I know they moved to USA, then to TNN, Then now they're back on USA.
30?
It
30?
might be 30. It might be damn. Let me not show my age on camera. But it might be that long. But you know, we're gonna see SmackDown move to USA, which is a big deal in itself. So that means SmackDown is going to be a primetime show. It's already a primetime show being on Fox, but Fox having so many other things going on, World Series. My mama liked this show. Shouts out to you, mama. I love you. Mass Singer. Football is on. All types of stuff that's on this particular channel. It's hard to compete with, and you know, with the numbers and everything. So now with you having USA not necessarily you losing wrestling, they're getting another show, if not a more popular show. And depending on who's going there, if you've got Cody as your champion going to SmackDown and you make that move, let's just say in another year or so, that's pretty good. You're going to bring in numbers.
SmackDown coming back to USA. It'll be the first time that USA has had one wrestling show that's been 2 hours.
Right.
Since like what, 2012? Because SmackDown's been on USA before. Let's not get it twisted.
Right.
But it'll be the first time they'll be the focus on USA, and the first time the USA will have one wrestling show for 2 hours. I hope I didn't jinx that, because if SmackDown goes to 3 hours, I swear to God. But let's keep it 2. Please keep it 2.
Please keep it 2 hours.
Please.
I can't sit through another 3-hour show.
Please. Matter of fact, on Netflix, make it 2 as well, because Triple H wants it. Don't Nick Khan might not, but Triple H. That came from my folder. That came from my folder. I know it did. I know it did.
I wasn't ready.
That. Wow. Wow.
I wasn't ready. I was not ready. I'm so sorry.
Can we even show that on YouTube?
I don't know if we can show that. Oh my God.
Wow.
That was great. That was great.
That is. Wow.
Oh man. As soon as Nick Khan, I was about to say Nick Khan is scary. And then next thing you know, that happens. Wow. That's great.
Wow. And it was so loud. That was. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yep, I'm definitely Samurai Jack on that one. That is. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Where do you even go from? Yeah. So SmackDown is being given basically franchise player time. Again, it's already proven it can be. Now it's given it solely on TV. And I'm curious about Raw on Netflix. I'm very curious about, are the aesthetics going to be different? Again, I really wonder what this draft will do for them on that front, because we've been sticking with the regular way the show's been looking. The only thing that's changed is the stage. So, yeah, Jesus, that show has.
Besides that happening, because that was just perfect. That was a perfect setup. I agree with you. I think that's one thing that should change. I think when they do make these changes, like you already see Raw getting a different type of feel, different type of look. I'd expect SmackDown to have the same feel. Like there's a different type of look, different type of feel. I agree with you. The Netflix deal is great. It's great because Monday Night Raw, for adults out there that still watch wrestling, all of us in this chat, basically, and us, we work. You know what I mean? So it's hard for us to kind of catch these shows. But when we do we can go on Netflix and rewatch the whole show. You know what I mean? So it's not really an issue. Of course, Netflix is going to be $100 a month now. But other than that, it's great on that end of it. You got NXT going to CW, SmackDown going to USA. This is what wrestling should be. It should be a competition, and they have the amount of money to produce great TV. And something that Sir Wilkins said, shouts out to Jobber Tears podcast, people don't understand how much money it takes to do something on TV. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it's expensive to put something on TV. And WWE has had arguably the best year they've had in a long time as far as sales go. They were like, what, number 2 on that list? UFC was number 1. They're going to go over UFC next year. I can guarantee you that. They're going to go over UFC next year.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So in the middle of all this crap happening, like, is the network staying with Peacock, right?
What, like the PLEs?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about the PLEs moving.
Because I'm kind of curious, because I was thinking about it from, granted, this is childhood trauma here, but WWE Studios, when they used to make movies, right? I think somebody knows where I'm going with this. We're going to be seeing WWE stars in Netflix movies.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but I would think that we would get more serious movies.
No, because The Rock did Netflix movies. There are a lot of people do Netflix movies. So like I'm thinking to myself, if you want that crossover, remember when everyone was like, Disney Plus, people getting into the Marvel stuff, like if they're on Netflix, they have a direct access to making more combined content with WWE if they have some of their top stars or recognizable stars in these movies. Hopefully no more Marines, but like imagine for The Miz or something. Or like
easier.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that was something I was thinking of too. Not to mention CW having NXT. CW is all about drama. That's all they advertise.
Oh, I got something. Let's bring back the cinematic matches, especially for CW. Because
where's the
plays on
no? Where's the gunshot video?
You don't want to see the cinematic matches back on CW? Especially with all the superhero stuff that plays on the CW?
We're about to get an underground match, so we're already on that path, but in the same token, like, look, there's, like, I'll give you the benefit if it's done correctly. But those matches scare me because they lean too far into the toxic nature of how fans are, where they're like, it don't matter how the match is, as long as it's entertaining. Which means that they're going to go bonkers. Like, yes, a cinematic match for someone like Joe Gacy, sure. Tatum Paxley, sure. Don't put Trick in no damn horror movie.
Yeah,
no.
CW. His horror movie is going to be with Dragunov. That's his horror movie.
All right, then. I'm sure we'll...
On blood.
Yes! Oh man, I love that.
On blood.
Oh man, that just made me happy. Oh man, nah. We gotta keep that one. You gotta keep that one. Oh, happy. Show. Let me behave.
I can confirm that one was not from my folder. Also, there are too many jokes I can make about that right now. But with that being said, yeah, that's basically the vision for the brands right now. NXT has been leaning into reality stuff, so drama makes sense for CW. SmackDown, big boy on USA for the first time, and Raw about to see what it could do with streaming. So let's see.
All right, so next topic around the draft is which teams move to new brands, or do we see a split between teams? I think we kind of alluded to like some teams splitting, going to the other opposite shows in recent episodes. So I'd like to begin with Big E. What's your thoughts, man? Do you think we see a split? Do you think we see teams moving? I mean, with all this shifting coming into the draft next week?
I'm gonna be controversial because I like controversy. I'm gonna say the Street Profits split up.
Ooh.
I'm gonna just put it out there. I think the Street Profits split up. Now, who goes where is the question. Do you put Angelo Dawkins on Raw, Montez on SmackDown, or do you go Montez Raw, Angelo Dawkins SmackDown?
Wherever Bianca goes then.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, wherever Bianca goes.
basically. And then here goes the next thing, because we know the impending I don't know what to call them just yet. I don't have a name for them, but Bianca and Jade are going to be your women's tag champs sometime soon. So where do you put them? Are they going across all three brands? Are they only going to be exclusive to one brand? What's going to happen with that? Stay tuned. But I'm going to do Street Profits. AOP go to Raw, but they have to go to Raw by themselves with Paul Ellering. Listen,
Bring up the Final Testament.
It just ain't working out. It just ain't working out.
Bringing up the Final Testament.
It just ain't working out. It's not what they thought it was going to be. They thought it was going to be something. The name is fire. Don't get me wrong, but the team is trash. let's just call a spade. Call it for what it is. Leave it alone.
Me got thoughts on that later.
Okay, me got thoughts on that later.
Yeah.
Okay. What other team is there out there? I think Awesome Truth stays on Raw. They wouldn't give them new titles and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
outside the champs.
Okay.
Champs are safe.
What other teams are out there? I say the OC goes to Raw. I think their time in SmackDown is kind of spent.
They're bouncing between NXT anyway, so it's like they're in limbo.
Okay, they're in limbo. Another controversial one. Imperium. I think Kaiser and Vinci go to SmackDown, and Gunther stays on Raw. He can do it by himself. He can do it by himself.
So we're here. Okay. So
we're
here. Okay.
Play the video. Play the video. You know what I'm talking about. You know which one I'm talking about.
On blood.
We here.
Y'all got way too much blue on to be talking about some on blue. Man, all right.
Sorry, your thoughts, brother.
Man, if I find an on Crip video, I swear. Look,
No.
All right. So, speaking of blue, all right. So, whatchamacallit? Yeah. When it comes to teams getting split, a lot of my stuff kind of got thrown out the window because we had a pre-Mania draft idea, and a lot of my stuff kind of went out the window there. But I guess in this situation, from what I understand, NXT is trying to be built up as a third brand again, which, good for them, especially with them going to CW. So some people might end up getting drafted to NXT too. But if we're talking about just SmackDown and Raw, I think a lot of the people they have so far are kind of solid where they are. It's kind of, when I'm looking at some of the women, right? I'll put it like this. It would be nice to see Damage Control split. I don't necessarily think that it's like it's hard to tell who I'd want split, because part of me would like for the tag team championships for the women, actually, since we're talking about tag teams, right? Those belts are dual branded anyway. So certain feuds can continue regardless of the draft. As a matter of fact, those belts can kind of float between all three brands since the NXT ones died. So we're back to square one with that. So in reality, it'll be interesting to see who holds those, because those will be the gatekeepers of everything. I think for the Damage Control situation, it would be nice to see Io and Dakota stay on SmackDown and find new roles on SmackDown, because I don't think the stuff with Bayley is over with them. But I do find it interesting if the Kabuki Warriors get shifted over to Raw, because in reality, I never thought Asuka should have moved from Raw in the first place, really, unless she was going to take the belt from Charlotte. If you put Asuka back on the Raw with Kyrie, it'll be more interesting, because what did they were the outsiders in Damage Control, right? So now they're split from the main group. They have to reevaluate where they stand. And if they can't get the tag team championships, which they won't, because they're going to get dog stomped in terms of momentum by Bianca and Jade through no fault of their own, I could see Asuka losing her mind and turning on Kyrie, and we end up with Asuka going full-blown heel like sadistic, and Kyrie going back to what she was in NXT. As far as your Street Profits theory, very possible. That means Dawkins is going to Raw. I'll tell you that right now. As far as the Final Testament, yes, I actually agree with you. I think it'd be nice if they got split. Authors of Pain go over to the Raw tag division, and you see Authors versus the Creed brothers versus Jesus, salivation, yes, perspiration for The Rock. You know what you call it? No,
You gotta take that back.
nah. I know who I am. I'm secure. You're not. What you call it? But then again, I was just quoting something. But yeah,
I know what you were quoting. But
yeah. You over there getting jealous? I forgot The Rock's your guy. That I see you get a little jealous for The Rock. It's all right, Rand. Moving on though. What you call it? I could see a scenario where like Karrion Kross gets split from the Final Testament. Like they get taken a draft, he's pissed and he doesn't know what to do, and he ends up going down a bum ass Corbin type of road where like he's trying to get people to believe in him, but nobody wants to believe in him. So he starts getting depressed. He starts getting undone. He doesn't know what to do. All he has is Scarlett, but then Scarlett's having doubts, and it leads to an actual character change for the guy that can actually work to his advantage. So I can see that happening. As far as people that should move, for sure, Gunther would be an interesting one, because if Gunther were to move over to SmackDown, that would basically fix the CM Punk problem and all that everyone's been thinking about with the World Championship. But then that reaches the Cody problem, because if Gunther takes the belt off of Cody, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. However, what do you even do about that afterwards? It's the real thing. We're back to Roman again. But LA Knight moving to Raw would be interesting, because LA Knight would finally be free, and you get to mix it up with other people on the show. And the Intercontinental Championship is also free flowing right now. But then again, Logan Paul, you get Logan Paul, the U.S. Championship, you still do that. So I'm kind of stumped here, because I really don't know who should like definitively move, because it feels like everything's kind of set well in stone right now, outside of a couple people. Like, I wanted Chad Gable to go to SmackDown.
Yeah,
but now
with
the Sammy thing, I don't know if he should move.
So
he should move with Sammy.
So better yet.
Did I just segue a thing?
Yeah, pretty much. This is the beauty of it. We can just segue and segue and segue. Helps everything flow a little better. Now, I think we kind of alluded to saying who stays and who goes on their respective brands already. For the most part, I do like the fact that you would rather have the Kabuki Warriors go to Raw, have Io and Dakota stay on SmackDown, because I do believe that story with her and them and Bayley is not necessarily over, and I do think there's something bigger coming for Dakota Kai, which is why I think she's going to stay on SmackDown. I kind of do suspect that.
Because it's tough, because Raw doesn't have a lot of top baby faces outside of Becky and Liv.
They don't.
Everyone else is either heel or unidentified.
Well, I mean, I think Liv is more so of a tweener in this case right now.
Yeah.
Safe to say. With this situation with Rhea.
How? Rhea started it, and Lily did this to her last year. How is she a heel?
No, but she's a tweener.
No. She's a tweener. We're not saying she's a heel.
How is she not a tweener?
What makes Liv a tweener?
The evidence is there, bro. She attacked Rhea. I get it. You're getting your lick back. Understandable. I'm all for an eye for an eye. You got your lick back, but the way that you're doing it is almost heelish.
Okay, but Rhea did the same thing to her last year.
I'm not disputing that.
Okay, John, you what talking about? No. John Cena killed Batista.
Okay, we did witness a murder. We did.
Yeah. Like Batista said, I quit, and Cena still flung his ass off the car through the stage. What are we talking about?
What? Okay. I still say Liv is a tweener. That's just me. And I agree with Matt. Matt said, if you could pull up the comments, he said, Ty, she snuck her, which is truth.
What does it matter? Yo, what you on that mommy juice, man? Nah, you've been hypnotized. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
All right. So Who stays? Who goes?
I have the Bloodline moving to Raw.
You got the Bloodline. Okay. Interesting. You say that.
Not the Bloodline.
Hold on, wait. Because I know you about to go. I know you got to go. We here. I got Roman and Paul Heyman moving to Raw.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got Solo and Tama staying on SmackDown.
There you go.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
I got Jimmy Uso moving to Raw. I got Jey Uso staying on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I got Sammy. I got Sami Zayn going back to SmackDown. I got Sammy going to SmackDown. And Chad Gable's going to follow. Chad's going to follow. Because Alpha Academy they've run its course. They don't even show Alpha Academy anymore on TV like that.
So you got Chad and Sammy going to SmackDown. I presume the Creeds are going to go to SmackDown too?
Oh, no.
No. We got to keep the Creeds on Raw. I say DIY goes to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or this might make you happy, Tyler. Split DIY up, which I don't think they're going to do. But split them up. Johnny Gargano go to SmackDown. Tommaso on Raw.
Yeah.
There you go. I like that move.
I got that. I like that move. Because Tommaso is a world heavyweight championship material. Especially a heel Tommaso. I like that move.
It's a nice move right there.
Nice move. Who else? I'm trying to think who on the SmackDown side can move to Raw. Kabuki Warriors definitely. Jade and Bianca. I mean, it doesn't.
No, they stay in there.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't matter because even if they win the tag titles, they're gonna bounce between all three brands, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, you said Angelo Dawkins would have to move if you want your
Angelo
Montez
Dawkins
theory.
would have to move. I think okay, interesting take. Angelo Dawkins and BFAB together.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Angelo Dawkins and BFAB together, and then you got Bobby and Montez, with Bobby pretty much grooming Montez as a future world champ on SmackDown.
I'm with it. I like that move. I like that move.
That's a nice move. That's a nice move.
I was so confused. When was there 5 of us?
that day you guys were clowning me because I came from work.
No, I remember that. It's just when it appeared on the screen, I thought that was our current screen. Like I thought they just popped in.
What's good, Kyle?
What up, Kyle?
So,
but you do that. I mean, listen, you get everything that you want. You get Angelo Dawkins getting a manager because honestly, I'm not saying that Angelo Dawkins isn't a star by himself, but giving him a manager kind of ups the ante. It's kind of like I think Matt had said this in our chat. Andrade. I mean, he's good, but we know with Selena Vega he could be better. LWO, break them up. LWO has done absolutely nothing, in my opinion. Break them up.
Time to turn heel on Ray again?
No, I don't think it's time to turn heel. I just think you put
time to break away.
I think it's time to break away. If you want to do anything, you put Selena Vega and maybe Dragon Lee on Raw.
No, I think what you do. I think here's what you do.
I don't know. Tell me.
So LWO, I can understand that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they should do is draft Cruz and Joaquin to Raw.
Okay.
Draft Zelina to Raw.
Okay.
Keep Andrade on Raw. So that version of the group is over there.
And
but isolate Ray. Isolate Ray, have Dragon Lee on SmackDown, Ray on SmackDown, Carlito on SmackDown, and Escobar still on SmackDown with Legado, right? Mm-hmm. So Ray only has Dragon Lee. You can continue the Carlito stuff and everything there. But even beyond that, what they should do is take more advantage of Judgment Day. draft Dominic to SmackDown.
So hold on, because you cooking. Whoa, you got too much dip on your chip right now. Judgment Day. This is what you do, because we see the story unfolding, right? Rhea went down with an injury. Next man up, Damian Priest is the leader now. Damian Priest, JD McDonough, Finn Balor stay on Raw.
Yeah.
SmackDown, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio.
No. I think
what do you go?
I think what you end up doing is you draft only Dominic. And I'll tell you why. Rhea coming back to Raw for the World Championship basically guarantees. That's a guaranteed story. I don't think they should touch that, because she has to get back at Liv. She has to, all this other stuff. But moving Dominic is interesting because you take away one of the main pieces of Judgment Day, the most consistent pieces, and now Dominic has to grow on his own, because he's already the most hated guy in the company, but he usually has people to fall back on. He's by himself, and he already has friction with Legado, so he's going to try to get in the good graces with Legado. He's got to deal with his dad. He's got Dragon Lee. All his pieces are there for the year, right? In the case of Rhea doesn't necessarily need Dominic, but she'll be even more furious that she doesn't have her Dominic. So you spare us the typical melodrama breakup, and you play off of it more so it's like we were forced apart. So they can come back together at some point, maybe. And if Rhea, and then you could also play up to the storyline of Rhea realizing, it was kind of nice without you. Maybe I don't need you anymore. So we can play up to that later down the road. You also have the ability to focus more on JD McDonough and Finn's relationship, which was teased earlier in their story, right? Because now that Dominic's not there, JD has to step up, because Dominic was a more key player than him. JD's just been playing bobblehead and body bag and crash test dummy.
And Lord Farquaad.
And Pet Boys. So yeah, he will be more focused on from that point on his allegiance to who? What, the group? To Finn? Is he gonna tell Finn, yo, Finn, you're tripping. Damien's on something. Damien's right. And Finn's like, how dare you? And all this other crap. So you can play up to those things. So I think moving Dominic would make the most sense, because no one would expect it.
So Dominic by himself going to SmackDown.
That would make sense. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Okay. Hey, we talking about brands, right? We talking about SmackDown versus Raw, right? How about they playing up to my dream match?
What?
You know what my dream match is.
Oh, yeah, the NWA clash.
My dream match.
Yeah. That would be cool.
How about Nick Aldis versus Adam Pearce is really about to happen, like I've been saying on the show.
We're getting there. Don't trip. We're getting there. I hope Nick Aldis roasts them tag titles on Raw.
I just come on here and speak to y'all for an hour and just give my humble opinion, but I also give you facts. Come on now.
Oh my
God. Y'all don't hear me.
Chat, y'all don't have to take this. He's got what's left of Elmo on his neck. All right, you don't gotta take this. Y'all don't gotta take this. I'm not taking this.
Y'all listen, Matt talk about let that go. No, I'm not letting nothing go. I'm not letting nothing go.
Man, if you don't hush with your ladybug necklace, listen.
Hey, whoa. Don't disrespect.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm making illusions based off the colors.
Listen, all I'm saying is this.
That's wild.
That's gonna happen. And when it happens, I want my credit. And let it be for the NWA Championship. I don't know how we get our hands on this title, but somebody got it.
This man got both kinds of licorice around his neck.
No.
But that's what we talk about. We talk about brands, right? Now, this is something I want to see them get rid of too. Let's get rid of this free agency stuff. Let's get rid of it.
Yes, I agree with that.
Let's get rid of that. I don't know how we get rid of it. I don't know if we just
Don't talk about it. Just do what they normally do. Just act like it doesn't happen.
There's only a select few people that can honestly be under the umbrella of free agent. The Rock.
Actually, why don't you stop it? Because the reality is that's the wrong term. We've been using the wrong term because Vince is an idiot. Just say you have brand immunity. These are the wrestlers that have brand immunity because of their status is something they've earned, prestigious rights, yada yada. Brand immunity, especially considering if you're talking about The Rock, Rock ain't no damn free agent. He owned a company. If you're a free agent, that means you're not signed. I'm tired of people doing that. Hey, Devin.
What's up,
Devin?
Devin?
Good, man. But
What's going on?
Free agent means you're not signed. In every other sports context, including WWE's own history in the past, free agent means you're not signed, right? So let's get that out the way. Give them brand immunity, like it's Lethal Weapon. So that way, when The Rock comes in as the final boss, he can't talk about, I am the hottest free agent in sports entertainment. How are you the hottest free agent when you're signed?
So, all right. So brand immunity. Omos doesn't need brand immunity because what has he done? Nothing.
Mr. Look in my eyes, no fear. Look in my eyes, no fear.
Baron Corbin doesn't deserve that. And that's not hate. That's just the facts.
Okay.
That's not hate.
All right.
That's as big of a compliment as he's going to get from me.
Save brand immunity for guys like Cena, Rock. Legends like that. Orton would be eligible, but he's more full-time, so he would be on a brand. Basically, for part-timers.
If
Roman.
No. He's still too current. No, not him.
If somebody didn't have allegations against them, I would say them as well.
Oh my God, we could just say it, Brock. Yeah. If he was eligible, Brock, for Christ's sake. Making it sound like we're talking about Diddy.
The diddler? No, we're not talking about the diddler.
The who?
You never. I gotta send you that meme when it's in my phone.
The diddler.
It's in my phone. I'll send it to you.
Oh man.
Let me see. I don't know who else would have that. I would say AJ Styles to a degree.
If he decides to make it his last year or so, because he said he's got like 2 years left.
Right.
Maybe in his last year you could do that. You can qualify for brand. I'm over here talking about qualify for brand immunity like it's welfare. Yeah, qualify for brand immunity. You know what I'm saying?
Qualify. He's put the time in.
Yeah, he's put the time in.
Yeah. He's put the time in.
Yeah.
So I would move Shinsuke to SmackDown as well.
Yes.
Agreed.
Raw's not doing him any favors.
Yep. Didn't want him to leave in the first place. Because US title.
Because them anime, Captain Kuro like promos will hit more on SmackDown than it did on Raw. And he'll probably do something like win on SmackDown.
Winsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, because we went from Finn Balor to listen, Finn Balor, I'm calling it now, even though it's gonna happen. Finn Balor's gonna be our world heavyweight champion. Yep. I have not been wrong with that title yet, and I'm not wrong here.
Finn Balor. I don't want no more Finn Balor.
And then we're gonna get Finn, and we're gonna get what we should have got during COVID years, Finn and Gunther for this title.
I need Broadway Finn to be the one to be the kill shot to Damian Priest and ending that reign. I need that story to be done and told well.
Don't change him too much. Oh, okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments. Okay, so is there anybody else that you guys want to see?
No, this has been a collaborative effort, and I like what I've heard so far. I'm trying to think of other people.
Anybody from NXT that you might want to come up? Carmelo Hayes to SmackDown for me.
No, I mean Melo's obviously coming up. Braun Breaker's obviously coming up. Roxanne is obviously coming up.
Oh wait, but Braun is on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, he was signed to SmackDown.
Yeah, Braun's on SmackDown.
Put Carmelo on Raw for that reason alone.
Ooh,
if you move,
I hope Ricochet stays for that.
If you move the Intercontinental title to SmackDown, that's going to be That means the U.S. title goes to Raw, which means Logan Paul will be on Raw.
Mhm.
Which means, or whoever is the champion by that point is on Raw.
I'm putting Carmelo on Raw. What about Roxanne Perez? You put Roxanne Perez anywhere if she gets drafted?
Considering how
Ooh.
Raw is very heel heavy.
Yeah, Raw is very heel heavy. I would probably put her on SmackDown.
And SmackDown's very loaded. And SmackDown's very loaded, though.
But remember, you got a lot of people moving too on top of that. So you got Bailey. You got to put people in front of Bailey, and that's a good story in itself. Bailey's looking in the mirror at who she used to be in NXT with a la Roxanne Perez. I don't know. That's a good question.
She's gonna run into Bailey, and Bailey's gonna be like, "I know AJ. She would never approve of this." That's gonna crush Roxanne. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else on that roster. I don't think Trick Williams comes up just yet.
Nah, Trick needs time. He needs time. He ain't ready.
Dragging off the Raw.
Dragging off
the Raw.
That means Gunther to SmackDown because he doesn't want to be anywhere near that man. He do not want to be anywhere near that brother. Like, believe me. Good, we haven't seen Gunther in a minute right now since he lost to Sammy.
I say Ilya to SmackDown.
You say SmackDown?
Yeah, because I don't think Gunther should move from Raw. You can. How about this? I say Ilya to SmackDown. Gunther stays on Raw and embraces the hard waves for the world title. Yeah,
that's why I kept him on Raw, and I got Vinci and Kaiser going to SmackDown. Because I think Kaiser's an underrated wrestler.
I ain't gonna hold you. If that half of Imperium goes to SmackDown and becomes a new tag champs, I want them to hold it for a good minute.
Kaiser is an underrated wrestler, and nobody talks about him.
Both of them are very good wrestlers. Like, did we not see the classic back in the day? Come
on now.
Fabian Eichner, I remember.
Pepper Charles remembers now. Like,
hold on. Credit to me and Tyler because we called pretty much this tag team situation 2 weeks ago.
Well, what happened?
When we called the splitting the tag titles. We didn't call it exactly how it happened, but
yes, you did. You said this team was going to win.
Okay, we besides the element of arachnophobia, we called it.
Yeah, I called it to the team, man.
I saw a spider.
Yeah. R-Truth asking for a hot tag was my highlight of that match.
Tag me in, dog.
I don't know. I think it's interesting with the Judgment Day. It's interesting with the Bloodline. I think that whole dynamic of Bobby mentoring Montez into a champion, I think is more of the focus. Hell, bring in MVP. MVP and Omos are literally not doing anything. So even if you bring in MVP and bring him on SmackDown, that helps that element. You know what I mean? And then same thing with B-Fab and Angelo Dawkins on Raw. I think that element works as well. You learn about who Angelo Dawkins is outside of a tag team wrestler. He's a pretty good single star.
He is.
He's had matches. So I like the idea of, because I know Trips loves his factions. I love the idea of splitting guys up in order for them to shine.
And grow.
Right. Because you could still be faction heavy. Don't get me wrong. You could still be faction heavy and have one half here, the other half there, and still rep the group. But it's just we have individual goals.
Yeah.
Or we can move old factions out for new ones. Because to be fair,
too.
A modified Judgment Day, a modified Bloodline we already have, possibly Alpha Academy X, with whatever Chad Gable about to do. If they actually do that, where they get rid of Tozawa, or they have Tozawa and almost at Omos Otis play heel, yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine a more intense Tozawa again? A more intense Otis for the first time?
On this particular creative, I'd like to see that.
But one thing I would like, but the one thing we'd like to see for now, we kind of shadowed it a little bit, is forecasting the title management post draft. Quick takes in terms of what you see the title management post draft. I think you kind of alluded to possibly with Sammy going. That means the Intercontinental Championship will move to SmackDown, and of course the United States Championship will move to Raw. Do you guys have any can forecast any potential guys in each or people in each division that could possibly be top contenders for these titles in the near future?
In the case of let's look at the titles for what they are, like brandless for right now.
All right.
The most interesting belts for me, because I don't think Bayley's moving, and I don't think that the next women's world champion is moving either. So the belts that are interesting are the secondary titles in the men's divisions, because Logan Paul makes sense for Netflix.
Yeah.
If that's what they end up building to, but who says Logan Paul will be champion by the time they get to Netflix? That's the other part people don't realize. They're setting a groundwork for this, but it doesn't mean that everything they do right now will be exactly the same when we start and continue into Netflix. That would be kind of, God help us. So with that being said, I think that no champions move, and I think that the titles will stay the same as they are. I think in terms of what we do going into this new period post-draft is the Intercontinental title will touch a couple different hands. I think Gable will eventually get it.
Okay.
He will do whatever it takes to keep it, including compromising his integrity. Similar to Kurt Angle in 2003, I think that's what Gable will be in terms of how he goes about his matches, where he can kill you, but he doesn't always have to expend his energy if he doesn't want to.
Do we have a Kurt Angle video of him laughing? Because that's got to get we needed that. That was the perfect time for that.
I wish I did, bro. I wish I did.
But here's the thing, I'm just saying elements of it, not him becoming exactly him.
No.
Because I know that's been the meme recently, just like, turn him into Kurt. It's crazy how much people glorify the worst period in Kurt Angle's life. Good Lord. But what do you call it? Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna end up getting there. I feel like when it comes to the U.S. Championship, if I were to make some money there, I would have it be a title that shows stars. If the workhorse belt is the Intercontinental Championship, why not have the U.S. Championship show more of the top level stars, like what's the word? Like, you can have obviously LA Knight is the one person everyone wants for this belt, but even beyond LA Knight, Braun Breaker is there. You want Shinsuke over there. Shinsuke winning the belt would be cool. I would like to see Shinsuke and Braun. I also like Shinsuke to have his ribs, but I also like Braun to have his arms. So I don't know who's coming out the worst from that one. But I think making the U.S. Championship the IC's equivalent is common sense. But obviously the stars that they have over there could be a little bit more what we're used to at WWE versus the Intercontinental, which would be more of like what we're used to in pro wrestling. You know what I mean? So
True.
A cool mix of both would be nice there. For the SmackDown Women's Championship situation with the women's undisputed, why is it undisputed? With that belt, Bayley's belt, she's going to be doing stuff with Dakota and Io in the immediate. But it would be nice to see her mix it up with people like Mia. We already had the Naomi and Tiffany situation set up, right? So I think a couple of those women's wrestlers are going to get drafted, like the women that aren't being used, again, like the Zelinas and the Mias, to you guys' points of like, the OC and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think everything's pretty rigid right now with them. With the World Championship, Cody has an open field here. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, it's probably the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So who knows? Obviously, we want Cody and Orton. A lot of people want that, but we're getting Cody and AJ pretty soon. But you could put anybody in front of them at this point. So I don't know.
I think.
Before you say anything, I found it.
So yeah, that's gonna be Chad Gable on SmackDown.
I just want y'all to know all the love you have for this period. That man was suffering. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Said, Booker, I want to have sex with your wife.
And that has been the Backstage Brawl, ladies and gentlemen. Follow us on the Sports Network.
I want to have.
Jesus Christ!
Oh God. Yo. All right. So okay. I got Sammy going to SmackDown. I got Sammy going to SmackDown.
Oh,
I got the mid cards switching. So Sammy going to SmackDown. Logan Paul going to Raw. I can
have a question to ask.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you think? Because I think Roxanne, she just won the women's championship.
Right.
Do you think the NXT champions who will be called up, like Dragunov and Roxanne, do you think they'll be able to keep their titles?
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. But like Roxanne just won hers, but yet she's being heavily called up.
That's her. Look, how about this, right?
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of crossover with this belt over the years since 2012. If you want people to take it seriously as a third brand, get rigid with the rules. In the case of Roxanne, I'm gonna be real with you. This works out for Ilya. It works out for Roxanne both ways. You know why? Because in the case of Ilya, he can't die. So if you take the belt off of him or tell him to relinquish it before he moves to the next brand, that's cool. You know why? You keep his brand, you keep his reign strongish. You can crown a new champion without having to beat him. It's a good segue for him to leave. And in the case of Roxanne, Roxanne can sit here and be like, so you're telling me I have to give this up after I finally just got it? That fits her narrative perfectly.
It does.
And that gives her a chip on her shoulder immediately going on to the main roster because now she's like, I was just a champion. You took it from me. Everyone dies. And that opens up 2 spots for somebody else. And if there is a vacant women's championship and a vacant men's championship, and we have these NXT pay-per-views or TV specials around, that means you can open that up for the other people on the roster.
Or, you could do this way too, which probably y'all won't agree with me on, but you could do like they get drafted to respective brands, but they don't debut just yet. They can still work NXT for a little while, whatever. We know Dragunov has a big match with Trick Williams coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Trick should walk out NXT champion. You don't. I know. But you do that, you can have him go there, or you can have Dragunov kind of do the Cody thing. Yo, I'm working 2 shows. You could have that if schedule permits him to. You could have that where it's like, yo, I'm building up 2 shows. I'm burning both ends of the candlestick to where it's like a Seth Rollins kind of thing. It's like I'm working. I'm the workhorse. I'm the new workhorse of WWE. That's how you write Dragunov story. And then you give us Seth and Dragunov down the road somewhere. I don't know how you get there, but you get there. Seth might die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
He just had surgery, bro.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for good TV, Randy.
Oh my God.
And this is why Perk Angle can't find peace. We're not even going to regular hell.
Go to super.
We're
going in the furnace.
All right, so last topic surrounding the draft. What are some feuds in your mind that would be created through the draft?
Okay, so I got KO and Sammy. I think that's gonna happen. It's been a while. They've been separated for too long, and Kevin Owens needs to get back into a championship light. So I say Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn for sure.
Imagine Kevin Owens being the reason why Gable's champion over Sammy.
KO and Sammy, their dynamic is so good. You don't need a championship.
They don't. And on top of that, they teased it at WrestleMania where he's like, and now it's your turn. And Kevin failed.
Right.
There's a story right there.
And Kevin can sit here and say, "Oh, you think your world championship material?" Like everything that they've basically built individually works at that point too. It would be a more appropriate time for it at that point too.
Yeah.
So I got KO and Sammy. I got Finn and Damian on Raw. Let's just get the obvious ones out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Bloodline, SmackDown, Bloodline, Raw. Seth and Cody eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably throw a curveball out there.
Oh my God! I just realized something.
What did you realize?
If Kevin Owens is the person to take the belt off of Cody Rhodes at some point,
mm-hmm.
and he holds it till Mania with that trajectory,
okay,
because you gotta assume that if Kevin Owens becomes world champion, he will have killed Sami Zayn by that point.
Mm-hmm.
No, you gotta remember, you gotta assume, like, if Kevin kills Sami,
mm-hmm.
because remember, he turns heel on Sami, Sami's gonna want the first match, and like NXT, Sami dead,
mm-hmm.
Sami will be gone,
mm-hmm.
Kevin will be champion at Mania. We have a Rumble.
Sami comes back and wins the Rumble.
And goes after Kevin.
I like that move.
To complete
I like that move.
To complete the triple crown. To complete the triple crown. No, complete the triple crown of Mania championship victories. Tag team at 39. Intercontinental at 40. World Championship at 41.
Cooking with hot.
I salute that.
Is that?
I salute that. I salute that.
Why were you a witness, an eyewitness for the? Whose child is that? What are you doing?
I salute that, man.
Oh dear Jesus, what happened? We're definitely getting flagged. Yep, we're definitely getting. What was that?
Somebody put that on TikTok. To be fair, somebody put that on TikTok, recorded their child, and Randy just stitched it. So, to be fair, it's already out there on social media.
Oh God.
I got all of that happening. I got
That's
KO,
a crazy dunk.
KO and Sammy for sure.
But hold on. Are y'all missing the fact that KO and Solo might have their little feud?
That's gonna happen in the meantime.
That's probably
that's probably what's gonna lead to KO losing his mind and going, F this nice shit.
Right. I need the prize fighter back. I need prize fighter Kevin Owens.
Do you think it's gonna be against Solo or Tama?
He has to get that way with Solo because Solo matches that intensity.
At some point, you gotta see Tama for what he did last night.
Oh yeah, he got to see Tama. You got to see Tama.
Like,
if anything, wait.
See Tama, though.
I'm waiting.
That's why Kevin turns. Because Sammy will have just got drafted to SmackDown. He'll be so caught up in the Chad thing. Kevin's like, why didn't you help me when this happened? And Sammy's like, listen, it's not that I didn't want to. It's just I couldn't get there. No. Because when Jay is in trouble, and then we bring that up again. Because when Jay's in trouble, you're always there. I just got murked by everyone on that damn island, and you didn't do anything.
Again.
Damn, but this time was worse.
You weren't my shield.
Nah, this time was worse because, like, yo, he came out bloody. His car was totaled. I was like, gotta see him, son.
Yo, like, Kevin is gonna turn on Sammy because Sammy didn't make it. It's because Sammy didn't make it again. Yo, and then when Kevin turns on Sammy and he costs him the championship, he's like, do I have your attention now? CM Punk reference because he smacked his shirt off the table, and he's Yeah, no, that's my only feud. I don't need to book nothing else. Y'all can go. I'm done.
I got CM Punk and I got CM Punk and Roman, but Punk being the heel.
Okay.
I can see that. They could revisit that.
Okay.
That's a huge possibility. I got wild card in this. Where's Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre staying on Raw?
Wherever Punk goes, he'll go.
He'll go.
I prayed for this and it happened. Yeah.
I ain't gonna front. If Logan Paul gets to Raw, I would have him against Ricochet and run that back.
Oh yeah, that's gotta happen. That's a human highlight reel.
I need to see that. And
that interaction is gonna be fun.
And then somehow, some way, if it just translates to Carmelo Hayes being part of that mix, I'm like, nah, I needs that. I need that.
Money. Take my money.
Take my money, man. I needs that.
I don't know. I don't see any other potential feuds happening. I could see AOP and
if they get to Raw,
Brothers,
they got comp.
If they get to Raw, AOP and Creed Brothers, that's building up a big baby face against a monster.
That would feed the tag team division for until at least the end of the year.
The pop for them eventually winning would be ridiculous. Like, imagine Julius Creed picking up Azar or deadlifting him. Deadlifting. Come on now, y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all not listening. Y'all not listening to me right now.
I'm curious. I'm curious. No, I'm curious because the Creeds are interesting because if they do the predictable thing and put them with Chad Gable, they're gonna be heels.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter. Because imagine Authors of Pain become tweeners and they run into a heel Creed Brothers. Do you think anybody's gonna give a damn who's babyface or heel, or they're just gonna chant "This is awesome"?
No, they just want to see people. They just want to see like those guys go at it. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Also, what you call it? If they do the unpredictable thing and the Creed Brothers are baby faces, then it's perfect. Because then that would mean Tozawa and Otis are heels. And those are tag matches y'all aren't ready to see.
And Maxine Dupree going out on her own, I mean, if anybody cares. But Candice LeRae can be her own little thing, kind of like switching people over to the dark side. Pretty much,
Eric,
I'm going to make a Star Wars reference.
Who did you just say?
Candice LeRae. Go ahead, hit
Who?
it.
Ain't nobody care. Next camera. Ain't nobody care.
Wow. Listen, if this storyline gets some real traction, I don't want to hear you talk about it in the future, Mr. Ain't Nobody Care. Because let's say
ain't nobody care. Next camera. Ain't nobody care.
All right, be petty. Be petty. I got you.
I'm just saying. I think it's a good idea to have Candice LeRae as, I guess, not really the manager.
Don't make me use this.
But the focal point of turning people heel. She could go to people's careers. Look, you could get Natalya. You could get, if anybody still wants to see Natalya, but you can get Natalya. You can get all these people involved. You can get all these people involved that have these careers that are going down, so to say. And she could just be like, listen, I can show you the way. I can show you how to be that more aggressive person.
And then they turn to Damage Control 2.0.
Yeah, but more winning.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah, no.
I'm with you on that one, Tyler. I care.
I care. I hope so. Oh man. Nah, it's been a dope show, man. Shout out to the people that have been joining it. I think we had as much as like almost 30 people joining in terms of the
let's go.
We got 7 on the hit list right now. I think we got 6 elsewhere currently right now. So I think we got 13 still here on the live.
Shout out to my boy Gio watching, man. My God, Gio.
Shout out to the guys in the comments on the sports hit list. Shout out to the guys that's on YouTube, especially our Facebook page, supporting the brand.
support the art, support the brand.
Is got support the brand. Obviously shout out everybody. Shout out to the to the podcasters out there, the content creators. Shout out to you guys in terms of what you guys do weekly. Of course, We Are Wrestling coming up next week, and of course, Battle Club both got events on Friday and Sunday, respectively. Pete got a dope ass show going around, of course. Janelle from Jabba Tears, and of course,
Ray's not in the comments today. Ray,
Ray, I fear for your life because I won't be here for getting him off, whooping your ass.
What did you do? Nah, Ray, do you need a manager, Ray? Do you need a manager?
Listen, man.
I know some people.
A lot of slow singing and flower
bringing. Because Ray's gonna die, bro. I don't like this for him. I like Ray. But Danny Math is a killer.
Hey man. What he did to Lala. I mean serving the pork and beans from a can. I mean,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't go. Me and Auntie is like this.
Going against Prolific.
Close, man.
As KD just missed a bunny. Right now it's play on time. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to those wrestling girls. Shout out to Jabba Tear. Shout out to Black Wrestling. Man, shout out to Gresh. Shout out to Circle of Debate that's in the comments, Devin. We got one more question. Do you think
Drew McIntyre will win a title anytime soon? If he stops obsessing over CM Punk.
All he had to do was basically just walk out the other way.
He just had to walk to the back. That's it. That's all he had to do.
All he had to do was follow the train, CJ.
Ain't that some because he done hyperextended his elbow. His right arm, I believe, is his right arm. And Punk's in a sling on his right arm. And they about to interact. Oh, this about to be nasty. Yeah. He ain't win no title. No, he'll win it back from Damian possibly, but it might be short-lived again.
Oh man.
Again? You do this to me again?
Again. Anyway, man, shout out to Black Twitter. Shout out to
my boy Fam. What's good, bro?
Yeah, shout out to Fam.
Crowd Royal boys out here, man.
Yes. Shout out to the variant from
shout out to my other variant, Jermaine. That's my guy.
Shout out to Jermaine. That's another dude too.
That's a good brother right there.
Drew's more deserving.
But Drew is more deserving than Cody. You gotta agree.
Yeah,
that guy carried WWE in the pin.
Yeah, I got.
No,
we're not disputing that. We're not disputing that. We're just saying Drew McIntyre screwed Drew McIntyre.
I got a shout out.
What's your shout out?
Got a shout out to the guy who gave us the quote of the day that you smell like you swimming in ass. Give a shout out to that guy right there. Wait a minute, what?
Ivan, shouts out to Ivan, our guys on the West Coast, man. What's good?
My God.
Shout out to Circle of Debate right there.
Yeah, man. Good brothers over there, man. Good brothers.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are we getting to? Match of the week?
Yeah.
Now Vaughn gets in here now. Vaughn gets in here as we're ending the show.
I actually want to propose a question to the audience because we at the Sports Hit List, we have a pretty giant window of time here on a Saturday, right?
Right.
My question is, do y'all want us to start later?
That has to be an executive decision through the boss.
Through the boss?
Yeah.
Through the boss?
Yeah, through the boss.
Look at all these people that want to say hello at 3 p.m., 4 p.m.
Yeah, shouts out to y'all, man. On a Saturday, y'all could be doing anything else, but y'all watching three black dudes talk about wrestling. Shouts out to y'all.
Well, two black dudes in a photo, but yeah, what you call it?
Okay, two black dudes.
Oh,
one black dude in the photo.
Yeah, one black dude in the photo, but yeah, I'm curious.
No, two black dudes.
No, two black dudes in the photo. Because I'm curious as to what people want. Because I see a lot of people come in around 3, around 4. We've been doing this thing where we've been pressing 2:15. It used to be 2 o'clock, then it was 2:15. It was 2:30 at a point. Should we just go straight into 3? What do y'all think?
We'll talk about that amongst ourselves.
Yeah, we'll talk about that amongst ourselves and who,
what works for us. basically.
Pretty much what works for us. And
I mean, listen,
doesn't-
my days off this month are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So,
okay. We pretty much started on
take
time.
that-
I mean, we
and
started
of
on time
course-
today too.
Of course, I'm gonna be petty. Make sure y'all follow the Infielders podcast. Now I'm playing the Dog Days of Baseball podcast. I'm not gonna be petty. Make sure y'all follow that. Episode 2 coming soon. Got a lot to talk about.
I respect the petty though.
Nah. I'm just here with it, you know.
Nah.
Yeah, Vaughn said his schedule was tied up.
He said he could do 2:30. So I'm like, all right, so we're pretty much in the pocket.
Yeah, pretty much. If you didn't see X-Men 97 this past episode, I'm talking about it.
What?
Yeah,
X-Men 97.
Have you not watched it?
Yeah.
Okay. Matt said I'm petty. Yeah. Y'all, come on now. Y'all know. Petty on the exit.
Yo,
Happy birthday,
Yo.
the Vandross. Oh, yeah.
Your last name is Miller?
Yes, it is.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
Romeo Miller? Andre
Yeah, like
Miller?
ICDC College.
Yo.
All right, so match of the week. Here's what I got for y'all. Right? Y'all ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wrestle Kingdom 18, Okada versus Cody Rhodes, since we got to celebrate the new champ. For the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Check that out. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Go watch it. Enjoy it. Enjoy Cody's run. You didn't enjoy that?
No, I actually didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta keep it real with you, man.
Keep it real with me.
I keep it real. I keep it real with you, man.
Keep it real with me.
My favorite match of Cody Rhodes. So
Cody Rhodes.
in the modern era of Cody, like Blonde Cody has been his match with Goldust.
Okay.
You know, I don't mind your match of the week, but I'm gonna put mine. Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. AEW. The blood, the sweat, the tears, the tears. The more tears for you. Let me tell you, when I saw my sons out there wrestling right there, I said to myself, I need to come back to life for one night just to see it happen.
Just to make it funky like a monkey.
Just to see it happen right there. I can't do the voice completely because I got a nasal ingestion. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
There's your double dose of Cody for the 2 championships he's holding.
We go see that when you do things like this, that's what I call booking a good match. Okay.
You sound like you stuck on the word the like SpongeBob did when he was writing that damn letter.
He was writing the essay.
Yeah.
Break time.
Some of these and some of these. Yeah.
I'm doing it.
That man Randy tried to save himself from messing up his mic. That cost too much money. He almost died and lost his mic. Yeah.
Woo.
Shout out mental illness. Shout out mental. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here, please.
My God.
Because I got depression. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Yo.
One final thing I wanted to plug some from one of our guys from the Four Corners of Commentary, our boy, Mr. Marvel, a.k.a. Kyle. He wanted me to push KTI Studios. He wanted to push this for music, videos, intro, and commercials, and, of course, promos. KTI Studio. Shout out to Mr. Marvel, Kyle, from the Four Corners of the Commentary. And, Kyle, here's my message to you always.
Beat it. Wash your ass.
Because you've been swimming in it.
It's all love. It's all love to the Four Corners of the Commentary. It's all love to Mr. Marvel. This has been episode 138 of the BrawlCast here live on the Sports. Also live on the Backstage Brawl on Facebook and on YouTube as we speak. And as you close out, I am your host and moderator, the People Champion, a.k.a. the Final Boss, joined by my tag team partner and all of the IWC, Big E. You ain't got to keep it PG, a.k.a. Mr. Diamond Cutter. And, of course, our fantasy booking extraordinaire, Soft Forest, a.k.a. the Dynamite Kid Ty. This has been the Backstage Brawl here on the Sports Hit List.
Yeah, remember, Eric, they ain't put no red on that Knicks jersey. That's Atlanta.
Knicks in
You feel me?
Knicks in six.
Knicks in 6. If you're
Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6. We are the
What I'm
Backstage Brawl, and we are out. Peace.
Man, fuck Elmo, Nick.
Respect.